9:05 now. Today, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced a massive investment into vaccine research and treatments. He described a three-pillar approach, including a multi-million-dollar commitment in clinical trials led by Canada.
We're putting in place an additional $1.1 billion for a national medical and research strategy to address COVID-19. This plan has three pillars: research on vaccines and other treatments, supports for clinical trials, and expanding national testing and modeling.
And Trudeau says a vaccine is the long-term solution, but until then, we need to control the spread. Today, he announced the COVID-19 Immunity Task Force.
The task force will operate under the direction of a leadership group which will include Dr. David Naylor, Dr. Catherine Hankins, Dr. Tim Evans, Dr. Teresa Tam, and Dr. Mona Nemer. We are bringing together top health experts and scientists from leading institutions across the country. Canada's best and brightest will be working on serology testing, blood testing, to track and understand immunity to COVID-19.
Homicide investigators have been brought in following what Vancouver police will only describe as a tragic incident yesterday. Officers spent hours in the area of Main and Hastings and had yellow tape around several porta potties near the Carnegie Centre. Few details have been released at this time. A source tells News 1130 the coroner was seen in the area. We have reached out to VPD and the BC Coroner Service for more information. Vancouver police are asking you to be on the lookout for a man who allegedly attacked an elderly person with dementia. A video has been released of the incident. David Zura has more.
Everything about this assault and the behavior of the suspect is despicable.
Police in Vancouver are appealing for help following an assault at a convenience store in Nanaimo Street and East 1st Avenue on March 13th. VPD say a 92-year-old man with dementia walked into the store. They say staff were trying to help him when he was approached by the suspect.
The suspect began yelling racist remarks at the victim that included comments of COVID-19. The suspect grabbed the victim by the arm and forcefully brought him outside the store, where he shoved the victim to the ground, causing the victim to hit his head on the pavement.
That suspect is described as a white man in his 50s, roughly 6 feet tall, with a heavy build, dark short hair, and is balding on top. At the time of the assault, he was wearing a gray button-up shirt with a black t-shirt that had a white skull on the front. Along with black pants and running shoes, he was also wearing a gold bracelet, gold necklace, and several gold rings.
Recently, the Vancouver police have seen an increase in reports of anti-Asian hate-motivated incidents and criminal behavior. 11 hate crimes were reported in March. 5 of those reports were had an anti-Asian element. This year so far, there have been a total of 9 anti-Asian hate crimes reported to police, and in comparison to last year, there were 12.
Police say the man was uninjured and is now back home with his family. They are urging anyone with information about the suspect or the incident to contact police or Crime Stoppers. In Vancouver, David Zura, City News.
Looking at the COVID numbers in BC now, our province recorded its largest single-day spike in new cases since March yesterday. 3 long-term care homes in the Fraser Health region have recorded new cases. They are the Eden Care Centre in Chilliwack, the Guildford Seniors Village in Surrey, and the new Vista Care Home in Burnaby. 3 more people have died in BC from COVID in the past 24 hours, all at seniors' homes. The province has recorded another 71 cases. 1,079 people have fully recovered.
We continue to experience new community outbreaks in British Columbia, and this, of course, is very, very concerning to me and to all of us. This tells us that we have more work to do to break the chains of transmission in our communities and to make sure that every individual, every business, every community, every family does what we need to do to break these chains. And that's everyone, all the time. We can't afford to have any weaknesses in our firewall if we are going to be able to move ahead into our new normal.
BC's Premier is hinting at a plan for loosening restrictions is coming soon. John Horgan says we can expect more details before the middle of May.
I know that in our regular conversations with premiers across the country, we talk about where we are in that curve, and some are more optimistic than others. I have been historically optimistic. I remain so, but I want to make sure that we're not getting ahead of ourselves, and I don't want British Columbians to take comfort in the early successes we've had in the past couple of weeks when we know examples like the poultry farm, the outbreak at the Mission Correctional Facility create problems for us over time.
The mayor of Maple Ridge is reacting over recent cuts to transit. Mike Morden says concerned residents have been reaching out to him. He believes essential workers, seniors, and those on low income suffer the most in his city.
And we understand why those reductions are being made. It's being made based on ridership, but given on social distancing requirements as issued by Dr. Henry from the province, we understand why these challenges are here. And therefore, we need more service, actually, not less, because of the spacing requirements in order to have people safely travel in public transit. But this is an essential service we need for our citizens.
With recent unemployment numbers, he believes even more people will turn to transit to get around. Morden says transit improvements have been made over the past few years in Maple Ridge. To have this taken away is a major hardship. Well, how is digital education going in your household? Ashley Burr speaks with three parents with three very different situations about the struggles of this new reality.
Like, there's not really any learning.
About a half an hour of the online learning.
Altogether, it would be about 2.5 hours.
Three parents, one with elementary age kids, another who has a child with a disability, and the last has a son getting ready for high school. Each facing different challenges now their child's education has gone digital.
Yesterday was a hard day for us. We tried doing some story workshop, and it was like, it was something that they would normally do in the classroom, and I had to videotape what he was doing, my 8-year-old. And he just burst into tears and said, I don't know why I'm doing this. This is not how it would be in my class.
Karina Reed lives in Richmond and is a mother of two. She says her kids haven't had a digital class with their teachers yet. One is in grade 2 and the other in kindergarten. Things have been more parent-driven, helping their elementary school-aged kids complete assignments and activities sent to them by their teacher.
I cannot imagine how parents are doing this, if you're two full-time parents working from home and trying to homeschool. I can't imagine.
Beckett's been doing really well. This has been a great year for him at school. But this has changed everything.
Tamara Taggart is a mother of 3. Her 12-year-old son, Beckett, has Down syndrome and is having a difficult time connecting with his class through a screen.
It's really hard for my son. We just had a classroom online video, and my son sat down for 2 seconds of it. He said hi to everybody, and when he realized that everybody was taking a turn talking, he just shut it down, and he's up in his room now, laying in his bed.
Taggart feels helpless. She took to Twitter Monday, writing, "My son did 17 minutes of online school chats last week. That's it since March 13th. Zero learning. Our teacher, school support workers..."
All right, it is 9:14. We interrupt Ashley's story. Federal ministers are making another announcement in Ottawa. Let's listen in.
1,000 people, with over 6.5% of these testing positive.